بص النهارده انا هحاول اكون ذكي، بس اقسم بالله ما هلحق اكون ذكي. جايب لكم لعبه النهارده انتوا اكيد عارفين الرسومات بتاعتها، عباره عن ان انت بتحاول تحل الغاز، وبجد اقسم بالله الالغاز سريعه جدا وانا ما لحقتش خالص. الفكره ان اللعبه دي جواها 27 لعبه كمان غير النهارده، عاملين زي اللي عملناه النهارده بس باختلافات، هتشوفوا في اخر حلقه تفهموا. فلو عايزيني اعمل الحاجات دي كلها وصلوا الحلقه دي 15000 لايك، بس 15000 لايك هنبص على الالغاز بقيتها كلها مع بعض ان شاء الله. هي دي هيبقى اسمها سلسله الفوازير، وممكن نعمل منها 28 حلقه انتوا ضامنكم. فبس مش طبعا عليكم، خلينا نخش نشوف اللي هيحصل فين النهارده. طيب بيقول لك اللعبه الاولى اسمها من الكاذب، مين اللي بيكذب؟ مش عارف بترجم لكم من الكذب ليه. فبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، يلا بينا ودوس.
Mr. Morrison was the owner of a small company. Only 4 people worked there. One day, he came to the office and didn't find his favorite slippers. He always put them on while working. The man searched everywhere and finally spotted them on the roof of the building. Mr. Morrison was furious. He entered the office and started to question his employees. Daniel said, "I don't even know where you keep your slippers." Andrew said, "I'm terrified of heights. I have never climbed up there." Sandra said, "I'm wearing high heels today. I can hardly walk in them." Emily said, "I respect you too much to do it to you." One of the employees is lying. Who is it?
لا يا اسطى ما تدينيش وقت، لحظه واحده مش عارف افكر والله العظيم. الواد اللي على اليمين ده ازاي عرف انها طلعت فوق؟
It's Andrew. He said he was afraid of heights. But on his table, there's a photo in which he's skydiving with a parachute.
ايوه ده السبب اللي اخترته.
Melissa's boyfriend proposed to her and presented a beautiful diamond ring. The girl was afraid of losing it. That's why she kept it in a box on her vanity table. Once, after a long and difficult working day, the girl came home and went straight to bed. When she woke up, the ring was gone. Melissa called the police. They asked 3 suspects, Melissa's roommate, her best friend, and her neighbor, what they had been doing the night before. Helen, Melissa's roommate for the last 3 years, said Melissa had indeed looked very tired. She took the tea Helen made for her and went to her room at 10 p.m. Helen went to bed shortly after. Eric, Melissa's best friend, said he had come to visit Melissa at about 11:30 p.m. The girl was already sleeping, but he saw a jewelry box lying open on the table. It was empty. Eric was surprised and left immediately after that. Brenda, the neighbor, said she wanted to borrow a book from Melissa, but when she called her, the girl didn't answer. So Brenda decided not to bother her so late at night. The police soon realized one of these people was lying. Who was it?
ايه ده؟ مش عارف. الواد اللي في النص ده شكله كداب.
It was Eric.
يا نهار ابيض عليا.
He was only asked what he had been doing the evening before. But he mentioned the jewelry box. He must have known the ring was missing because he took it.
ايه ده؟
A group of friends went camping. They found a beautiful place in the forest near the river. They were planning to spend a week there. But on the 3rd day, Chris disappeared. The rest of the group gathered near a campfire to figure out where he could be. Paul said, "We didn't have enough firewood. I went deeper into the forest to get some. When I came back, Chris was already gone." Ashley said, "I was near the river washing my t-shirt. I stained it with ketchup during lunch." Nancy said, "I felt unwell, so I decided to take a nap. I was sleeping when an owl woke me up." One of the young people is lying. Do you know who it is?
التيشيرت مغسول ورا. والله يا اخويا معايا لحظه واحده بس، انت ليه موطني كده؟ انت ليه موطني كده؟ والله انا ما اعرفش. طب رجعني تاني، انا هختار البنت اللي على اليمين دي.
It's Nancy. Owls sleep during the day. It means an owl couldn't have woken the girl.
ايه ده؟ لحظه واحده، انا اخترت اللي على اليمين. هو انا دوست غلط؟ انا والله اخترت اللي على اليمين. يا جماعه اللعبه دي يا جماعه محتاجه تركيز قوي والله العظيم. انا التركيز بتاعي مش، انتوا اللعبه دي عجباكم؟ لو عجباكم اعملوا لايك والله العظيم عشان نرجع لها لان انا هي فيها كتير قوي، هي فيها حاجات كتير قوي. خلينا نكمل.
Someone started a gas leak in Mark's apartment. Luckily the man noticed it. He called the police. After searching the place, they found a watch. Mark claimed it wasn't his. The detective decided to set up an ambush. The watch looked expensive. Surely the criminal would return to get it back. At around midnight, they heard the key turn in the door lock. In a while, a man came in. He was holding a lit candle in his hands. At first, the detective wanted to arrest the man. But after a while, he realized it wasn't the person they had been waiting for. How did he figure it out?
How did he figure it out? ايه لابس ساعة بايده ولا ايه؟ انا عملت ايه؟
Whatever the man was doing in Mark's apartment, he wasn't the one responsible for the gas leak.
ليه؟
That criminal wouldn't have entered the apartment holding a burning candle.
ايوه عشان كده انا اخترت الشمعة. يا جدعان انا بكسب بالهبد.
The police found out one particular gang was going to rob a bank. An undercover agent was sent to the restaurant where the criminals always gathered in the evening. His task was to attach a tiny GPS tracker to one of the gang members. Then the police would know about their location and would be able to prevent the robbery. The leader of the gang was the mastermind of the group. All other members were just muscle. The undercover officer had to be very attentive around the leader. The man could easily spot the device, but no other gang member would notice it. Where should the agent place the tracker?
Where should the agent place the tracker? في الشنطة. في المشروب.
On the gang leader's backpack.
أيوة
He's the
الشنطة.
only person who can spot the device, but not if it's on his own back.
مش فاهم.
Police got a call from the house of a wealthy man. He didn't come home after going for a jog. When several police officers arrived, they questioned all the people in the house. They were the maid, the millionaire's wife, and his driver. The maid said, "When Mr. Jones went for a jog, he asked me to prepare his breakfast. I immediately got down to work. But it's been 3 hours, and he hasn't returned yet." The wife was worried too. "I saw him in the morning, but he was in a hurry. We just greeted each other, and I went to work." The driver told the police he had been waiting for his boss in the car, scrolling through his social media. Who knows something about the millionaire's disappearance?
واحدة قالت إن هو كان واحدة قالت إن هي كانت مجهزة له الفطار. واحدة قالت إن هي شافته بالصبح بس كان مستعجل. واحد قال إنه كان مستنيه. كنت مستنيه بس إيه؟ الراجل السواق ده شكله مش سالك. غلط ولا إيه؟
The maid is lying. If she had cut the apples for breakfast 3 hours ago, they would have already turned brown.
يا عم أنا فاكرها جرافيكس.
هو إيه ده؟ She got a new job as a sales assistant. She was extremely happy to receive her first salary.
مبروك عليها.
She went out for a walk in the park and decided to treat herself to some ice cream.
حلو.
She pulled out cash, but a powerful gust of wind has blown the money out of her hands. The girl managed to pick it up, but then she realized one $10 bill was missing.
لحقت.
Shirley looked around. One of these people must have taken the bill. Can you figure out who it was?
وانا هعرف البنت بتاعت اليوجا.
It's the man in the red baseball cap.
ليه؟
The bill is under his right foot.
هو انا كان المفروض اشوفها.
Detective Larson was walking along the street. Suddenly, he saw a man grab an elderly woman's bag and run away. The detective immediately rushed after the criminal, but the man disappeared behind the kitchen door of a small restaurant. When Detective Larson entered, he saw 3 cooks preparing food. Which cook is fake?
هما عاملين لحمة. واحد عمل سلطة عليه. الواد اللي في النص ده مش سالك. لا الواد اللي
It's the man holding the salad bowl. He's the only one not wearing gloves. لا. People began to disappear in a large town. 1 month after it started, the police came across an abandoned house. In its basement, they found 2 men. Each of them claimed that he had been locked up there and that the other man was the one to keep him in the basement. But it was clear that only one of them was telling the truth. Look at these men attentively and say who's the liar.
لا استنى بقى. اللي على اليمين ده اللي عشان الواد اللي على اليمين ده كذاب. الواد اللي على اليمين كذاب.
It's the man who's smiling. If he had spent 4 weeks locked up, he would have a beard and mustache by now. But he's clean shaven.
عندهم حق والله عندهم حق اقسم بالله.
Rachel Brown, the owner of a large and successful company, has disappeared right from her office. The police suspect that some of her subordinates might know where the woman is. They question 3 people. Ruth, the HR manager.
الواد اللي في النص ده ماضي بقلم ازرق ليه؟
We were going to fire an employee that day.
الواد اللي
I came to get Miss Brown's signature. Adam, the accountant, says, I indeed came to her office. She had to approve the company's budget for the next year. And the secretary comes in last. I saw Miss Brown today, but only for a minute or so. I asked her to sign my leave request. The police officers immediately realize who is lying. Can you figure it out too?
البنت العيمين دي امضتها مختلفة. الامضة اللي عند بص شايفين الامضة الواد اللي في النص اللي بيبين الورق ده لا البنت العيمين دي كدابة. كدابة.
Anne is lying. The signature on her documents is different from the others.
جبت حاجة صح.
She is the person Ruth was going to fire that day.
ماشي.
Martin bought a car in September, and now, just a month later, it's stolen. The police have 4 suspects, and all of them are Martin's friends. The crime happened at 10 p.m. on Wednesday. At that time, Alan was playing badminton in the park. Natalie was driving home from work. Roy was walking with his dog, and Rose was doing some grocery shopping. Who took Martin's car?
والله العظيم يعني أنا الراجل أبو سنة ده مضايقني، أنا هختاره.
It was Alan. At 10 p.m. in October, it's too dark to play badminton.
وانا اعرف معلومه زي دي منين؟ انا اعرف معلومه زي دي منين؟ والله انا مش هكمل اللعبه دي النهارده، اقسم بالله. وفي ايه تاني؟ احنا النهارده خلصنا بتاعت مين الكذاب. عندنا مين هيبقى على قيد الحياه، مين مش ذكي، انهي عيله اللي فقيره، حارب واحد وابقى على قيد الحياه. انت تختار ايه لو في المكان ده؟ لو خيروك حاول تفضل عايش، اختار الشخص الحقيقي واهرب من القلعه. مين هيهرب؟ سرقه الدايموند، يمين ولا شمال؟ ما تفكرش كتير. ايه امن حاجه في دول؟ مين الغني؟ مين بيغش من التاني؟ الاب الاغبى ولا الام؟ مين مش ذكي؟ مين مش ذكي برضو؟ اي طريقه تختاره. 4 من 5 مش شايفين السي ايه. مين صاحب الشيء ده؟ في كام زومبي؟ ازاي ممكن يحصل حاجه زي كده؟ مين مش ذكي برضو؟ مين هيبقى على قيد الحياه؟ مين هيبقى على قيد الحياه برضو؟ دور على الاختلاف. ابو مين اللي مش ذكي؟ دور على الاختلاف برضو. ايه اهم حاجه ومين عنده حق؟ هم كام حاجه يا جدعان؟ ممكن نعمل كام حاجه بتاع دي؟ 27. وات؟ بقول لكم بجد لو عايزين اللعبه دي تاني لازم نوصل 15000 لايك مثلا، بجد والله. احنا ممكن نعملها 27 حلقه، هنسميها سلسله الفوازير. بس خلاص، لو الفيديو عجبك اعمل لايك واشترك في القناه، مش مشترك، وهنشوفك في الفيديو الجاي. تمام؟ لاف يو، سلام بستوي، باي باي. ايه ده والله؟
تعبت واشتغلت، سهرت واجتهدت، ما يبانش في شغلي، عارف اني بتعب فيه بجد. دوما وعرى شغلي على قلبي زي العسل. انتوا تخلوا اي شخص ينسى ايه مفهوم الكسل. عشانكم انا مكمل، عشانكم انا مطول، لحد ما تاني درعي يجي لعندي ويفرمل. يعرف مكانه فين وسط مليون بستاوي، بيسمعوا قصة نجاح انا فيها الراوي.